back now. Two of them, they're racing really hard. Be careful with them, guys.
come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hello. How's everybody doing today? I was not abducted. I've just decided to do this new thing where I'm not sitting here waiting for the stream. I basically throw the stream up, I let it run its course, and I sit down when I'm good and ready. Plus, it allows people more time to get in, hang out. So yes. Welcome, Slick. Welcome, Zonly. And Slick, you are the first. So today's stream is going to be essentially comparing my two favorite Sims. They might not be your favorite Sims, and that's fine. But rather than... So I've had this, like, sort of way of, like, comparing Sims where I compare it to what the majority vote likes, for example, like iRacing, LMU, things like that, to something that I like. And I kind of compare those and pick them apart and stuff like that. I'm going to try and change that up a little bit and compare things that I like to things that I like. That way it doesn't feel like I'm shitting on something from a bias standpoint. You know what I mean? So, in this case, these are my two favorite games. These admittedly are more sandboxy, but why do I like sandbox games more? Well, if the internet went offline tomorrow, I can at least still play these games. Maybe not online, obviously, but I can still play them. There's a lot of games you can't do that, and not just necessarily sim games. I mean, gaming in general. But, for example, Gran Turismo 7. When I was deep into my Gran Turismo 7 craze, playing Gran Turismo, and I lost internet connectivity, I couldn't play single player. I could do time trials. Woo. I couldn't progress the story, or the campaign, nothing. That kills me. That absolutely kills me. So, the plan is, we all know that there's well, at least some of us know anyway, that there's a big update around the corner for PMR. So my plan is to do this now, and then see how much PMR moves the needle towards, because here, okay, full disclosure, right now, in both their states, AMS2 is a much more polished, finished game. It's been out for 6 years longer. That shouldn't be a surprise. So let's just get that out of the way. AMS2 is Project Cars 2 if it continued. There's some differences there, obviously. But still. PMR, we all know its start. So there's no need to harp on that. It has been progressing. It's going to continue to progress. But let's just see what it compares to what I think is honestly the best sandbox, I have to say sandbox, racing experience money can buy. And by that I mean endless amounts of content. You can play with your friends. The game with the right force feedback, because I do recommend getting an aftermarket or third-party force feedback for the game. That really does make the driving a lot better in the game. The cars are very, very, very slidey naturally, and I did notice that a lot of that is due to some of the force feedback. I've eliminated, I'd say, 60% of the slidiness through the force feedback profile. That being said, though, we're going to do this today, and then we're going to come back after their next update, and we're going to do it again. Now, we're not going to be comparing them online. Not entirely, anyway. I might go into, like, the custom lobby stuff, but, like, AMS2 doesn't have ranked play. So technically, PMR, believe it or not, is further down that rabbit hole of ranked play than AMS2 is. That's my biggest complaint about AMS2, is there is no, outside of, like, league racing and things like that, there is no, no way to compete. No, like LMU. We all know how I feel about LMU. But LMU does nail the desire to go play the game for its ranked play. Like, I want to, if LMU didn't have ranked play, I'd uninstall it and never play it again. Truthfully. But because they have ranked play and it's done well enough anyway, it makes me want to boot it up and play. So there is no doubt a missing element to AMS2 by not having that, and then PMRs just being fundamentally flawed. It's ranked play. So, we're going to jump in. We're going to start with some single-player stuff. So just driving physics, AI, things like that. You know, and we're going to compare, contrast. I did a tiny little bit yesterday where I got nitpicky about car audio. But ultimately, I think the car audio is really good in both games. I just think they thrive in different aspects of things. So anyway, let's start with, what do you guys want to see first? Do you want me to start with PMR? I'm going to be jumping back and forth, so it really doesn't matter too much. Anyway, what's going on, Rob? What's going on, Trev? Jack? Racing Jack, QC. I don't know about AMS2's growth point versus PMR, which seems not so grown yet. I wonder if it's a fair comparison at this point. I wouldn't say, just on time alone, it's not a fair comparison. And the thing is that outside of Rensport, there is no fair comparison for PMR. Because you have to go by time. And it hasn't had time. You know? You have to understand every sim has started bad. Literally every single one has started bad. So by that metric, PMR has followed the same path as every other sim. The one thing that PMR has had hurt it more than other games is that a face of the game is pretty much hated by everybody in the sim space. So by Aris taking over as that face, maybe, just maybe, that will shift that dynamic as well. PMR urgently needs to work on the sound for exterior shots, and the replays are also unimpressive. I don't mind the replays. I think the replays are fine. I'm also on PC, though. But I do agree that... Here's the thing. I would edit your statement and take out the word urgently. I think of all the things wrong or that need work on PMR, exterior audio is bottom of the list. Does it need to be better by comparison to other sims? Sure. But would I put the exterior audio above all of the actual game-breaking stuff? Absolutely not. Not even close. But I do agree that the exterior audio does need a little bit of work. That being said, though, 99% of the time I'm in PMR, I'm in cockpit view, and the game sounds great right there. So, I'm a little less, you know, upset by game audio. I wouldn't say AMS2 feels sterile. I just don't think you found your footing in it. Because, like, if I'm by myself, like, totally, completely by myself, and I wanted to jump in PMR and AMS2 will hold my attention longer. Because there's just so much more. But that's a time and a content thing. AMS2 didn't always have all of this content. It was built over the years. Let's see. Please, I will try Group A. I will try Group A on Kiwami. I'm going to actually try some of the comparable DLC cars and stuff like that as well. So let's see. Let us start with... Screw. Let's just jump into PMR first. Really happy to have replays now. I just wish we had more angles to view the replays, but I'll be patient on that matter. Yeah, give that time. That's definitely not a priority, in my opinion, but I would say give it time. What game DLC should I really get? AMS2 or LMU DLC? I mean, well, here's the thing. You've got 2 days to get LMU or AMS2 DLC. I will always say get AMS2 over LMU. But I admittedly am biased in that regard. I absolutely... If you told me I had to give up one of those games and give it back and never play it again, I wouldn't even hesitate. It would be LMU. And I think LMU's a great game from a success standpoint, but I'm just... AMS2 is so much better for me. It has nothing to do with difficulty, nothing to do with that. I just think the do whatever you want to do metric of AMS2, pair that with its content, it doesn't even compare. What's going on, AJ? Yeah, that's the thing, Racing Jack. League racing, believe it or not, while PMR is not there yet, like AMS2 in that regard is going to blow away LMU. It's not even going to be close. Not even going to be close. You'd pick LMU to keep? Yeah, see, I agree to disagree on that one. I can't. But I get it. That's your shtick. The numbers don't lie. Like I say, numbers don't lie with what people like. And LMU is successful. You heard from an inside source that the best DLC for PMR is yet to come. I think they're all going to be good, honestly. Admittedly, the this GT Icons DLC did a lot better than I thought it was gonna. Maybe it's because it landed better after the fiasco with the Japanese one. But yeah, AMS2 isn't available to you. Well, League Racing for you on console is either ACC then or PMR, but PMR is not there yet. I would try starting a league, at least a trial run after the next update. And go from there. See how it goes, you know? Alright, so we're going to start with the GT cars. Why are we going to start with the GT cars? Because AMS2 just got an update to add more of these cars. So we'll start with the GTs. Hence my, let's go with the Celine S7. Go with the Celine S7. Come on, load those shaders. Load those shaders. There you go. All right. I do think a streetcar DLC would be fantastic. I know that's a very divided thing, but I come from the streetcar world. And now, this is obviously my opinion. It is biased and it is subjective. But in my opinion, race cars, unless they're super cool race cars, like Group C shit, because that's a different story. But like this GT stuff, street cars are cooler to me. Way cooler. It's not even... Like, there's a reason why I don't care about GT4s and GT3s. Because they are just modified and heavily modified street cars that are now road illegal and all follow the same rules. You know? The reality is, though, if you had the talent and the money, more the money than the talent, you could easily build a GT3 car. Easily build a GT3 car out of your street car. You could not easily build a Group C car or anything like that. That requires from the ground up modeling, you know? But it would be cool to see that. But I mean, at the same time, though, I don't really necessarily see it unless this game really gets some leverage and grows legs. I don't see street cars coming to this game. And the thing is about street cars, to me anyway, street cars can't be unmodifiable. So you have to have a modifying aspect of your engine. And I don't mean the engine of the car, I mean the engine of the game. There needs to be something there that allows you to kind of like Gran Turismo 7 or Forza Motorsport, where you can modify these street cars to add some dynamic. Because, like, that's the thing. A production street car drives like shit compared to a race car. So who's ever going to drive a street car? The only way a street car becomes... So all of the reasons that people like to have have open setups on race cars, that is the dynamic of street cars. You don't just set up the suspension. You build the entire car. You know? It is very much, AJ, a whole different game, which is why I don't think it would happen. But at the same time, you never know when if this game doesn't ever get legs underneath it, that'll absolutely never happen. I'm not much of a... I mean, yeah, you could do engine swaps, but I'm much more of a modding the original engine fan. I think engine swaps are overplayed in real life. Especially in the LS world, everybody just puts an LS in everything. I get why. I used to build them. But I've built and blown up my fair share of LS motors in my day. So I know why they go in everything. They're small, they're light, they work. You go to a junkyard, spend $800 on a motor out of a truck, slap it in your car. You got, 350 horsepower at the tire without changing a single component, At least that's what it was like when I was doing it. Who knows what the prices have skyrocketed to now. I'll vote your suggestion. I'll do what I can. If AMS2 gets the career mode right, it will probably become the PvE racing sim. I hope it does, Rob. I don't see them pushing the ranked narrative at all. But the way I would see it is like AMS2 would be my like sandbox single player game that I can also do league stuff with and play with friends. And PMR ideally would be the competitive online multiplayer variant of it. They'll both feel a little different, and I want that. I don't want them to feel identical because then they're the same fucking game at that point. But similarities, because obviously there has to be some similarity there because that's why I like them, All right, so let's do Sebring. GT's Sebring. Let's do 20-car grid. 20-car grid. Just jump right into a race, no quali. Let's do a nice morning drive. No, screw it. We'll do midday. Damage on, pristine track conditions, nah. Sure, let's do pristine. It's too pristine. It is what it is. Season doesn't matter. Just do as hot as it can be for grip. One-time progression. 5 laps. Hot weather to get rid of the ugly clouds. All right, so we got damage on, penalties, tire pre-warm, all that stuff is on. We'll turn off tire pre-warm since AMS2 doesn't have that. AMS2 just forces the real-life tire method. So like F1, you go out there into that race on warmed tires. GT, you do not. To a degree. So let's just control it. I have no idea because they've been working on AMS2 career mode since I've been playing AMS2. So I don't know. Going on, too bad. Going on, Robert. Priceless. I definitely recommend getting PMR. I can't speak to NASCAR 25. I'm sure it's gotten a lot better. I bought it on PS5 on day one, and I got a refund on PS5 because it was that bad to me. But I'm sure it's made strides. I'd LS swap my blender if I could. LS for the win. Yep. You're a basic bitch, Slick. You're a basic bitch. You're like everybody else. Like me, I would never put an LS in an RX-7. Would never do it. Ever, 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 ever do it. And it would be so easy to do. The car would work better. It would do everything better. But it would just be boring. I've seen it done too many times. 3 rotors and 4 rotors are always going to be way cooler. Way, way, way cooler. I'm currently in a Forza Motor 8 league. Less than half of the races are on wheel, and we're all FR Canadian, or French Canadian. It'll be hard migrating to PMR, but it's my wish. It'll be easy to migrate once the game is in a state that matters. Yeah, Rob, I'll show you right now. All right, so we're at 18 Newton meters of the 28 because I just have not found a reason for this. It's great for overhead, but I don't need it for anything practical. Zero filter because why would you filter out detail? Wheel speed rotation, that's your oscillation right there. I want none of that shit. Force feedback details, this is very subjective. Sometimes I like it at 20, sometimes I like it at 5, but this is pretty much my base settings. Zero prediction, zero torque assist, zero mechanical damper, mechanical friction 20%, mechanical inertia 20%, slew rate, no limits. That's basically that. And then in PMR, we are at 85% of that 18 Newton meters. Low force boost is at 10. These are default, by the way. Force feedback smoothing is at zeroed out. Force feedback headroom, I reduced to 100 because that's like if you hit a wall, it'll rip the wheels out of your hands. Rumble strength, I put that to absolute maximum because I want all of the buzz. I want all of the detail. And Simagic is really good at delivering rumble as detail. Like, it's basically, Simagic by default does what True Force does. And True Force is something that needs to be enabled through the game. We're going to test that out right now. I don't remember. Let me back this out quick. I don't know what I set the AI. I think they're at that dumb. They're at 20%, which is what I want them at. Yeah, okay. But right now, the AI is at its weakest. And I want it that way because I want to hit them. I want to test collisions. I want to see how bad they are. What's going on, Grumps? What's going on, Mike? And then we can turn the AI up. But I want to compare it directly to AMS2 in the same regard, you know? An LS and an RX-7 negates two of the best traits of a rotary. Very low and very backward center of gravity. But, of course, for Americas, they just want to go straight. That doesn't matter. Well, there's a lot to... The thing about an LS motor is an LS motor... I can't remember where the transition point was, but I have a buddy who builds rotaries for a living. That's his job. SMG Racing. And he's out of New England. I can't remember what the transition point was, but an LS motor is actually substantially lighter than the RX platform. I can't remember if it was 3-rotor or if it was 2-rotor with just a single turbo. But the fact that an LS is aluminum... Now, an iron motor, like an LQ or something like that, that's a different story. But the LS motors, like, I could pick up an assembled LS motor ready to drop in. Not over my head, but I'm saying I could squat it, no problem. And I'm a small dude. So, you know, from a performance standpoint, I don't like... there's nothing wrong with the LSs in fact, they're the easy route. But... I would never do it because rotaries for life. I would put more... In fact, I am so upset that the old Wankel didn't get further development throughout life. Because that... I think the whole piston engine shit would have probably taken a back seat to rotaries if rotaries really, really, really were pushed. But it didn't happen, so can't rewrite history. Now you're looking at Simagic wheels. Yeah, you're gonna... I will say this. Now that you're on, respectfully... rotaries die with the price of gas, yeah. Now that you're on PC, too bad. I would be looking into Simagic. I'd be looking at Moza. You know, as much as that, what you have there is decent for console, the Thrustmaster. Not for PC. They're holding back so much experience now that you have access to things. All right, so this is dumb AI. We're going to go off their reaction. No HUD. We're going to test collisions, too. I want to give him some space because I want to hit him at a very high rate of speed. RS50 is good. I agree. I have one. I very much like the RS50. But my Simagic stuff is substantially better in the ecosystem of immersion. All right, here we go. We're going to see how this handles right now. All right, so right there. That is a problem that PMR has had that I have complained about for the longest time. So, do you guys see what I just did there and what just happened and why I've been complaining about collisions? Netcode is a problem, but netcode doesn't matter when the base game with zero netcode has the collisions problem. The collisions are the source of the problem. I just drove through that AI, damaged my car, and he just kept on going, right? That's a problem that I'm hoping to see rectified in the next update. Truly. Because what happens if that happens in the core game, like everything's being pushed right now from my PC. Everything's being done from the same device. And I just had the problem online that ruins online experiences, right? So, yes, it's easy to blame ping. It's easy to blame netcode because there are problems with it. But what you just saw right there is one of the biggest complaints about online, phasing through people. Collisions are the core problem. And then it's just exacerbated by netcode. You know? All right, so let's do that again without the intentional impact.
Okay, mate, we expect grip to be low out there at the moment. Track is green. Track is green.
I'm not racing Jack. I'm driving the car. I launch it on the limiter, then I immediately get off the gas. Immediately get off the gas, let the tires hook up, then I roll back into the throttle. Nope, no launch mode, all me. And I consistently beat everybody from a dead stop in this game. And I tell people I'm going to do it in the race, and then I do it. Because everybody just holds the throttle and sits there spinning. I'll show you what people do. I'll show you I'll show you my, So pay attention to right here. This is my throttle. This is what people do. And this is why they don't launch very well at all. They just sit there spinning tire. Luckily for the tire spinning, the AI is set so slow right now that it doesn't affect the race. No, I'm using my ears. I do have pedal haptics, but they are not on. For what it's worth, it's just hours of gameplay. Memorization. I do a lot with my ears when it comes to audio. I listen a lot more than I see and feel. Maybe that comes from, you know, me in motorsport where I'm constantly used to using my ears to listen for problems. Noises, things like that. I'm just that's what I do. I listen with my ears. I mean, everybody listens with their ears. I mean, I listen well. It's like my primary sense when it comes to a lot of things. It's also why I'm successful with my wife. I use my ears. Oh, I totally missed the braking zone. All right, so the AI at minimum on Sebring, minimum, I was pretty leisurely able to pass them all inside one lap. So let's do... All right, so 20% is the minimum, 100 is the maximum. Let's split the difference. Let's do 60. All right, let's start that. Let me use the bathroom. Let me use the little boy's room quick, and I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, it's very true, AJ. Oh, Racing Jack. Yeah, you need to bind a clutch. You need to bind a clutch. I am using my clutch. I'm using my paddles. You might not be able to see it, but I am pulling my paddles in. Watch, I'll show you the difference. If I just put it in gear, I'm on the brake. I'm not using the clutches. I put it in gear and I floor it. That's what happens. Restart. Drive. Clutches. Clutches. I'm on the brake because the car will roll. But see, now this. Watch. Oh! I should have known better. Oh, shit! No! Oh! It's just like an online race. No different. Low-speed collisions in this game have gotten a lot better, but the high-speed collisions, I'm hoping the next update fixes them. Like I said, I showed you last race when I just drove right through them at high speed. It's the deficit of speed that makes the collisions really bad. If someone is traveling at a much higher rate of speed than the thing that it hits, it barely registers an impact. For the other person, anyway. What's going on, Texer? I don't know why he hit the brakes so hard. I know this AI isn't perfect, but all things considered, guys, having access to all the sims, it's far from the worst AI, truly. You know, it's very easy to get annoyed with the AI when it's the only game you play because you start to see all the flaws. But just jumping in, sim to sim to sim to sim, this AI is like upper 50% in my opinion, compared to a lot of the other titles out there. Oh! Robin's racing.
And hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
Oh, it jacked up my wheel.
Because you hit every other goddamn thing out there, I want you to be perfect.
No, he didn't slam into you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you, he rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
My wheel's jacked up. Right? It is on sale, so maybe I'll pick it up. The thing is here's the problem. I have iRacing. I just don't have any NASCAR content in iRacing. I have the base car, and that's it. So I have to weigh my options. Is NASCAR 25 good enough now to scratch the NASCAR itch? Or do I have to spend like $200 in iRacing? I know the reason why. I know the iRacing experience will be good. For a fact, I know it will be. In fact, I think it's probably the best part of iRacing is NASCAR. But I also don't feel like dealing with that bullshit at the same time. I just want to get in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time playing NASCAR. But if I do it the iRacing route, I kind of have to. Or else I wasted a lot of money. Force him out! All right, so 2 laps. We'll call, even though we're going to call that AI 50%, even though it's 60, but the minimum is 20, not 0. So, you know. All right, so it took 2 laps of casual driving while talking to chat to beat the AI, to get in front of the AI. Now let's just go right to 100. Do the same thing. iRacing NASCAR experience is 80% of the race on yellow. Grumps, what AI do you like better? In a fair comparison, which AI do you like better, Rensport or PMR? For me, it's PMR, but I'm telling you, before this most recent update, the AI was laughable. Like at the starting grid, they would all just zigzag and crash. It reminds me of this the scene from Bruce Almighty when he's like, all this horsepower, no room to gallop or whatever, and then he goes whoop, and all the cars get out of his way. That was the AI in Rensport.
Expect low grip out there for a while, mate. Track is green.
All right, let's actually see how they do now. Lap 1 is always deceiving in this game because the AI is always... Whoa! Oh, whoa, whoa, hey, ho!
That looked like a...
All right, we're going to start that over. But now if that's a consistent thing, we can give the AI some shit. But if that's an anomaly, we can call that a race incident. But we'll see what happens here. That's me. Well, that's 50% me. Me knowing the pace I can go, and the AI going a lot slower. But lap 1, like I was saying, anything can happen with this. Their AI is always a lot slower in lap 1 because they're all bunched up and they don't think they know what to do when they're in a bunch. I think the issue now is that they program them to drive too cautiously, which is good. They don't cause wrecks. But in their driving cautiously, they drive erratically. They're avoiding accidents. Like that. I'm not. I'm driving. Just pushed him. Oh my god! I saw him lose control and hit me. Like, see how hard he braked? Right there? That Viper behind me, how hard it braked when I crossed into my line. Or I crossed into his line, I should say. Want to install a plow? Yeah. And see, now that we're getting well into the lap 1, the AI is now composing itself. And they're going to get a lot more challenging. But for what it's worth, that's the online experience too. Lap 1 is the chaos. So, I don't know how to personally program the most desired AI because it's different for everybody and what they like. But playing online and then playing offline, right now the AI feels a lot like playing online. Lap 1 is pure chaos, and then after that everybody kind of stabilizes and finds their own groove. I don't think a formation lap would help because the issue isn't the starting line. It's not the standing start. It's just lap 1 in general. They get very bunched up because they're too close together. Well, like, see what I'm saying now? Whoa! I thought I had that, but I guess I didn't. And now I guarantee you I won't even catch the back of the pack that just passed me. Yeah, I'm in dead last place. Let's look at the relatives. So I'm 7 seconds out of the 19th guy. And he's putting distance on me. Just started, Turtle Wax. Just started. Yeah, see, they're just putting distance on me. Which is fine. It is the hardest the AI can get. So I don't necessarily complain about that, because again, I can lower the difficulty. I can't raise the difficulty. So if I was just running the AI down again, that's kind of a problem in my opinion. But you can, like, I think a big part too is like when people say the AI is too hard, like, you can lower the difficulty. We just saw how easy it was to beat them at 60%, right? So somewhere, let's face it, my pace is somewhere in between 60 and 100. 100, they're faster. Why would you want to be able to beat the AI at 100% easily? To flex your ego? Although AMS2 did solve this issue. Very much so, and I'll show you what that is. All right, so I'm not going to catch them. It's just going to be solo laps. So let me jump over to 90 is a good spot. Yeah, agreed, Grumps, right there. I think 90 is a good spot for most of the average to above average crowd, which is where I would lump you and me in. You know, 100% is alien territory. You need to be an alien to run with the 100% AI. And I'm not an alien. Yeah, we could try that in a bit, Jason. I want to jump over to AMS2 and show you guys the... Because AMS2 does some things. They've expanded on their AI. You can tell that AMS2 had the same problems. They all do, by the way. AI is probably one of the hardest things to actually program to please everybody, because everyone has a different opinion on what the AI should be, and there's so much going on there. You know, there is an anomaly you can't program for. The player. But the reality is, if I did up a poll, what would piss you off more? The AI hitting you or aggressively avoiding you? In fact, let's put that poll up. Let's see what people say. Start a poll. Do you prefer the AI to potentially hit you or avoid you at all costs. Aggressive AI that could hit you. Cautious AI that avoids you. All right, guys. Polls up. Vote away. Because I'm curious to see how that actually goes. Also, the reason why AI cars are so resource heavy in PMR? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's multiplayer race. Oh, what wrong thing? Single race. Let's get into the same car since it just so happens that this update that just came out added this car. Right here. What do we got for liveries? Okay. Now let's get on. By the way, I do want to go over weather. Bro, this game's weather system. Because the devs at PMR did tell me they want to do essentially rotating weathers and things like that and all that programmable slots and stuff. So when we get that, I don't know, but this has it and I got to show it to you. It really is. I've never honestly played with it thoroughly until last night by myself. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sebring. All right, so let's start minimum AI. Let's go 20 car grid, opponent number 19. AI at 70%. I hate these numbers. Anyway, so they have, see this right here? This is something I would like to see in PMR to help dial in the AI. You can tell, like I said, they had this problem where people's opinions, they couldn't program the AI as a one-trick pony to please everybody. So they had to mix it up. So you got AI wet skill scaler. You have AI aggression. Max, high, medium, low, which is your potential collision into you to pass you, right? AI mistakes. So I have my AI programmed to be like the player. Max aggression, maximum mistakes. Which these, in my opinion, kind of go hand in hand from an immersion standpoint. If I did this, off, 0 mistakes, max aggression, and did this, they'd be a laser beam. They would destroy me. By the way, this was added here later on because the AI wasn't strong enough. So they said, screw it. We'll please the ego guys and know that I'm beating the AI at 100%, but give you another 20% on top of it. So anyway, let's go minimum. Let's go max AI, aggression and mistakes. I like that personally. I want the AI to make mistakes. I want them to feel like I'm racing people. That's the idea. Hold on. All right. Let's start here and see how this feels. I don't know if I set the other things right, though. I didn't turn on damage or anything like that. We want damage turned on because I want to show that. Well, Jason, can I ask you this? What do you think good AI is? Like, give me a reference point for what you think is the good AI. For me, it's iRacing. iRacing has the best AI. But they have the best AI because they're the most programmable and you can do what you want. Plus, the adaptive AI is pretty good. But that's my poster child for a good AI is iRacing. Oh, you know, I think I have to turn damage on in the options, the main options. Full damage. We'll leave mechanical failures off because it is what it is. Alright. Race Room is decent. I give Race Room second best AI. But I think iRacing is the best. Well, I would make the argument that ignoring advertising, initial game advertising, I think AMS2 needs to have better AI than PMR. Simply because PMR has a ranked play and AMS2 does not. Compare this to the minimum AI from PMR, because that's what we're racing right now. Minimum AI. I forgot about the braking. You got to get on the brakes hard in this game. Non-ABS works very differently in AMS2. It's the opposite of PMR. That's the hardest adjustment point for me in PMR versus AMS2 is braking. All right, so I think we can say that that was pretty goddamn easy. We are now in first place. But Jason, what I mean is that you have to get on the brakes initially very hard in AMS2 and then roll off of them. In PMR, you gradually roll onto the brakes to not lock them up in a non-ABS car. If you roll onto the brakes on a non-ABS car in AMS2 the same way you do in PMR, you'll never stop. Same car, same braking zone. There's also a lot more understeer in AMS2. I'll be honest with you, Fogbound, I don't mind either. I just need to remind myself, it's just a learning curve, you know? Realistically, neither is better or worse, it's just different. You know, it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, because I can adjust to it very easily. It's just tough to go back and forth and mentally make that note, you know? See, like right there, I didn't brake hard enough. Alright, so we clearly see the AI is effortlessly easy to beat when they're on minimum in AMS2. Pretty effortless, right? Let's split that difference. Let's see. We'll say weight transfer is definitely better in PMR, since you brought it up, Jason. I think overall suspension works better in PMR than AMS2. You feel suspension in PMR. You don't really feel it in this. You just kind of get bounced around and gripped up and not ungripped and things like that. All right, so we're going to consider the 100% being the 100% point. So 85, start there. Do that again. So as far, Racing Jack, as far as Forza Motorsport goes, I didn't play any Forza Motorsport online with people. I only played the game in single-player mode. So against AI and things like that. And the AI is horrific in Forza. Horrific. They will, if you spin out, they will drive through you and they hit you and they will just continue to do a burnout, pushing you out of the way. There is nothing good about Forza's Motorsports AI. But I don't have any experience with it online with people, so I don't know. The game itself, Forza Motorsport, I liked Forza Motorsport, but in the scenarios that I put it in, wasn't that great. Well, the reality is, Trev, they could any programmer of any game without Sophie can make the AI destroy the people no matter what. Aliens would never beat them. It's that you can't beat the computer. The only reason you can beat the computer currently is because it's programmed that way to be able to beat them. AI is still way too slow. Still way too slow. G-meter? There you go. I will say this though, I do like this new physics of these GT cars. I like it a lot better than how it was. Oh! Alright, so we're in front of the AI. Lap 2. Oh no, lap 1, sorry. Never mind. I thought it was lap 2. Gave him benefit of the doubt. So much harder to save it. See, that right there, like in my brain, that was an easily savable moment. Easily savable moment, and I couldn't save it. So in that regard, in that particular regard, PMR has better physics. You know? I was barely over the limit. Barely over the limit. I was a little sideways there, and I was rolling off throttle to let the tires re-grip up. Nothing I could do. The car just continued and continued. And in fact, the more I actually drove properly to stop that, to counter that, the worse it got. So in that regard, that is some place that and the thing is sim racers will die on the hill that's proper. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I will constantly say that PMR has a much more realistic driving experience when it comes to going past the limit than just about every other title on the market. And sim racers, with all of their sim racing pride and glory, will just say, you're an idiot, you have no experience. XYZ GT3 driver says this is the best game, so that everything else is wrong and no other opinion matters. Okay, you're right. Go drive a car in real life. Any one of them. Any one of them. Kick them sideways and then counter steer and drive around it. They all do the same thing. Where the limit is different, but physics is physics. Gravity is gravity. It doesn't change because a sim says it should, you know? Anyway, not here to preach. Not here to preach. I'm just saying, that moment right there, I didn't like that. It didn't feel natural to me. PMR, I could have easily saved that. Yeah, exactly. You have to drive under the limit. That's how they all are, Jason. That's how all of the sims are, and it's a fundamental thing that I can't stand about sim racing that I love about PMR. PMR's driving past the limit is much more closer to reality than all of this other sim titles out there. Not about pace, it's not about anything like that. It's about literally when you go past that limit in a real car. Any tire. It could be a winter tire, a summer tire, a slick, a drag radial, what the fuck ever. Physics are physics. They will all have certain slip angles, and there will always be a point where you can recover the car. And right there, at no point was that way too far past the limit where I couldn't drive around that. And yet, I couldn't drive around it. All right, so this is the AI at 100%. I'm crushing them on the standing start, though. Crushing them on the standing start. And iRacing is notorious for that problem. There is zero, your tires change. They become completely different tires once you go past the limit. Actually, the tires don't change. You just, oh, why did you hit the brake so hard right there, bro? This game does feel really good, though. Outside of my complaint about going past that limit right there, physics-wise, driving-wise, I do very much like how this game feels right now. Ha! I also like the road texture of Sebring so much more in AMS2 than PMR. I've never been on Sebring personally to tell you which is the most accurate one, but PMR is the smoothest Sebring I've ever driven on in a sim. And I don't know if they're the only one that's right, because you would make the argument that, oh, they're the only one that's different, so they're wrong. But going past the limit, I'd make the argument they are the only one that's right. But I'll give the other guys the benefit of the doubt on the track. I feel like this is, for how bumpy people say it is, that this track is very bumpy in real life. And it's just not bumpy enough in PMR. So I have severe damage on the rear right. So if we could compare so far, which AI is better? Which one, just visibly, which one do you like better? This or PMR from what you've seen so far? This is technically 100% AI. Oh shit, I forgot the weather. It's a thunderstorm's about to start, boys. I forgot. I didn't change the weather back. Well, you're gonna get to see, the weather. Oh! We got an accident here, boys. I'm not even going to waste time. Where are my tires here? Hold on. Where's my tire selection? Oh, right there. I guess all I got's wet. Killing my time here. I should have had this set already. That's how I have it, Rob. I have my AI in this game always set to max mistakes, most aggressive, because I want the best racing experience. I want to feel like I'm racing people who have balls and not people that are just, you know, driving around. I don't know what's happening with the camera right now, though. Making sure I'm on wets. Oh. Ah. I'm running Daniel Kart's force feedback. The reference. I can't have push at all at any level right now. This doesn't feel right. I will say it is much more difficult in this game to drive non-TC cars around in the rain. Now, for obvious reasons, right? Yeah, no TC, duh. But it's not, it's challenging. Way more challenging than PMR in the rain. Yes, you are, Harry. Yes, you are. Yeah, I will say, I don't have much, like, going fast in the rain experience, but I will say I once took my buddy's Evo on summer tires. So I want to say like 200 or 300 tread wear, nothing crazy, nothing special. And obviously it's a summer tire, so that means it's got a tread pattern for the rain. 450 horsepower at the tire, all-wheel drive. You couldn't spin the tire. You would drive that thing on off ramps, on ramps on the highway. Belligerent, idiotic driving. It was insane how much grip I had. I couldn't believe it. It was astonishing, actually. But obviously this is a rear-wheel drive car, so a bit different. One thing that still bothers me about AMS2, and now it's much more apparent in the rain, so I can't fully fault it because it's rain, but they are much more understeery. Much more understeery. And I've always hated understeer. I like oversteer because, well, I like oversteer when the game lets you drive around it, like PMR does. But games that just kill you, I don't like oversteer. Like, just too much Too much slickiness there. All right, let me change that weather pattern. I'll be right back. Bathroom, and I gotta go grab a package from the front door. Whew, that was a workout. All right, where are we at now? All right, let me catch up on some of these comments here quick. Every game, so yeah, compared to PMR rain driving. I love PMR rain driving. Evo has the smoothest rate. Sebring, I could have swore it was pretty bumpy, but I'll have to check it out again, Harry. A penalty system like F1 where we have to get lined up and whatnot. I do have Car X Street, yes. I've put like 20 minutes in. All right, let's see. Real quick, let's turn off the weather. This is really cool, by the way. This is super cool. So you can do it based off time or sync to race. I have it set to sync to race because it just splits everything. But basically, you set 5 laps, and then and the weather will use all the weather. So if I did this, 4 weather changes here, basically in 5 laps, the weather will change 4 times. You know, and I do think PMR plans to do this, by the way, because I've talked with them a lot about the weather, the clouds, things like that. And they said that's the weather system's going to get... Bottom line is this, guys. All of the game we got delivered on day 1 is getting completely rebuilt. Completely rebuilt. You know? So, like I said, I do believe PMR will be one of the best, most immersive sims in time. In the beginning, it's a rough road, you know? But they're all like that to a degree. They're all rough. Anyway, let's turn this off. Weather back to normal. Now, let's make the AI as alien as possible. So let's do this. No mistakes. Maximum talent. Wet skill scaler. 1.0 sounds right. Max aggression. All right. Some of AC Evo is the best. Some of AC Evo is the worst. They have a lot of work to do. But I trust Kunos to eventually give us a really good experience. But it's the fact that 0.8 is coming out, I think sometime next week. I don't see them being that close to a 1.0. But then again, nothing ever is, so. Remember, as much hate as people want to give PMR for being an unfinished product on day one, AC Evo has been in the hands of people, which are the beta testers, a lot longer than PMR. AC Evo, it was the best of time, it was the worst of time. Yeah. Here we go. This is alien level AI and AMS2. So 0 mistakes now, and as fast as they can be. That's just marketing advertising, though, lingo, Matt. The distinction is the game itself is not different. Day one in the public hands is day one in the public hands. Their marketing calling it 1.0 was a mistake, but at the end of the day, in modern times, in video games, in a multiplayer game, day one, no matter what you call it, is beta testing. Whether people want to be beta testers or not, in a multiplayer game, unless it's like Call of Duty, which is the same game reskinned over and over and over again, and even they screw it up. Evo has been in the hands of people beta testing it a lot longer than PMR. And while AC Evo does have some key features that PMR should have had it for a while now, there's a lot of things wrong with AC Evo that are not wrong with PMR. You can make the argument vice versa as well, and I would agree, but the point is that I disagree with the praise of AC Evo and the hate for PMR with both games in their current state. Because I could enjoy both games or pick both games apart immensely. My frame rate is overall better in PMR. For one, far more stable track to track. AC Evo, some tracks, like Sebring. Sebring is an example of they did a phenomenal job on Sebring in AC Evo. My frame rate is better than all of PMR at max settings. But then I go on to Nords, or I go on to like Watkins Glen, and my frame rate goes, nah, you have a nice day, we're gonna take today off. And it's like, it's not even the same game. And I don't understand that, because that shouldn't be the case. But it's pretty obvious they've got more optimizations in some tracks. It's track by track, and it's really frustrating. Because Sebring and AC Evo is such a good experience. Like, in fact, AC Evo has my favorite Sebring. Whatever the most accurate is, I don't care. What I enjoy the most, visually, texture, whatever, I enjoy AC Evo's Sebring the most. They did a wonderful job on Sebring. Oh my god. I'll get used to the braking in this. Bass, thank you for the sub. I gotta change that audio cue. I want to change that audio cue to this.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I just keep forgetting. There's no doubt, though, management, who's ever in charge of some of the decision-making at Straight 4, has missed quite often and consistently. Just the build, like the fact that we're calling, like look at my, seriously, look at my, now this isn't as big a deal to me, but it's just the point of like the marketing. Look at the build number of PMR. 2008, 2.0.0.8, and look at AMS2. That's been out for 6 years longer. 1.6.9.9. And God, does AMS2 milk the digits. They milk the digits, I'll give them that. But I also don't think, on another hand, that AC Evo is going to be this polished, sensational game at 1.0. I really don't. Because I've been playing Evo since 0.3. Not since day one, but since 0.3. And they're all over the map with their updates in terms of the game's polish and overall stability and things like that. So I don't think that 2 more updates from now we're going to have this sensational experience. I think we're going to have another problematic sim that needs more work over time. That's what I think we're going to have. I'm all for it, by the way. I'm very much looking forward to AC Evo in the long run. But I'll admit, I'm one of the people that's scorned by getting rid of the ecosystem in it. I still want my, you know, sim title that replaces Gran Turismo 7 in all of its aspects. Honestly, too bad 2.0 probably won't even be career mode in AMS2. The next big update is 1.7. And the funny thing is, if you go by the build number, that's 0.001 more number. And I think we're going to get career mode before 2.0 in AMS2. I mean, oh, that's a mistake. You lied to me. But here's the thing. Where I put AMS2 above all other sims, and it's not even close, is Formula Racing. That's why I'm doing my, I'm in the process of starting my Formula League for AMS2. What is AMS2 going to do for me that no other title can do? Well, I personally like a lot of the GT racing better in PMR. I think every title, I think this game does a lot of things really, really good, but Formula Racing is where this game stands alone, in my opinion. Oh. Alright. That's the AI and Alien, clearly. So the Alien AI is running 157, and I've run 202 so far. I'm the slowest on the grid, by a lot. These are the second slowest guys right here at 2.0. Now, mind you, I could obviously get better. I could probably knock this down to a 2.0, or 2.00, I mean, with just some, focused driving. But for me to go 157, I ain't doing that anytime soon. Yeah, Too Bad's on PC now, so he wants to play all the PC titles. What's your favorite title so far, Too Bad? Of all the games you've played? These are my two. Regardless of what anybody tries. I think AC Evo, so I would say, for me, it's real close between PMR and AMS2. The problem is that I have to put AMS2 at number 1 because it's polished. because it's technically ready to go. It feels like a complete game despite not having ranked. Whereas PMR still has a lot of work to do. But that being said, they're still my two favorite games to play. Race Room is my third. AC Evo is like a wild card. I don't know yet what's going to come of that game. It could be amazing and really one of my favorites, or it could be a total flop. It's Kuno, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, they'll get there. All right, what do I want to test now? Different, let's see. Slow the AI back down to rational speed for me. Turn on their mistakes. Mistakes just make it more fun. They really do. Mistakes make it feel more... This here, in my opinion, if you're going to play the AI in this game, max aggression, max mistakes. It just feels the best. It feels like you're playing against people that are decent at the game. You know? And then obviously this is how decent they are. You know? But like I'm saying, it feels like... This makes it feel like you're playing against people. This makes it feel like you're playing against the computer. That's just trying to avoid you. But my point, though, is that all of the, like, mixed opinions about what the AI should be, it should feel like in PMR, AMS2 has sliders to adjust those things. You know? Sticking with PMR. You should stick with PMR, too bad. It is a good game. What's going on, Lincoln? What's going on, Art? Coach Heyman Earl? Okay. All right. But I do think you should expand on that, too bad. I don't think... This is my honest opinion of sim racing. You can have your favorite game that you enjoy playing, but you truly should just dance around with other titles. Have fun. Experiment. It's so easy to get locked in on one title and let it break you down mistake for mistake, flaw by flaw, you know? Like I said, like, playing this game makes PMR feel fresh. Playing PMR makes this game feel fresh. But playing one of them by themselves only, over time, putting in a bunch of hours, you will just start focusing on the flaws, the things it does wrong, and you will overlook all of the things it does right. Which is one of the biggest reasons why I always suggest mixing it up. Like, real quick. Oh, that's right. What's it? Group A? Yeah, let's try Group A's. Here we go. Oh, we don't have Group A and PMR yet. Damn it. This is a comparison for Race Room. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. We'll compare these two right here, boys. We'll compare these two cars right here. PMR. Since they're the latest DLC. I feel like that's a decent comparison, right? Would you guys say that? Let's see how well PMR did their latest DLC. Does that sound like an interesting... Because, like, I like the GT icons in PMR a lot. I have the feeling I'm going to like this Porsche better than the PMR one, but we'll see. Let's do this. Let's get out of AMS2 quick. Spent a good amount of time in it. Let's jump back over to PMR. Let's jump into the icon cars. GT70s. And we're going to switch tracks. We're going to go... Oh, hold on. Stop quick. Hold on, let's get our update going here. Yeah. Give me that update. $19 gigabytes. Oh boy. They're giving you the full schmageki right here. Just give it a minute. We'll chat while this uploads. Or downloads, I mean. And then we'll jump in PMR. Don't forget that AMS2 default setups are not good. I don't mind them, personally. I don't mind the default setups of AMS2. What do you mean by your the Logitech one? I want to say because I don't have one, but my buddy who's on the Logitech ecosystem let me use it. And 50% of the games were not recognized, did not recognize the shifter, the Logitech H pattern. Now, let me ask you this, Lincoln. Did you plug it into the base, or did you plug it into your computer directly? Because I didn't try it by plugging it into the base, simply because I'm on Simagic. I have my RS50, but that was more work than it was worth. Plug directly into the PC. Plug it directly into the base and see if it works. It might be a Forza scenario. I will say, I always recommend this, guys. If you're on one ecosystem, plug everything into the base and just plug the base into the computer. If you're on one ecosystem. Obviously, if you're mixed-matched ecosystems, you can't do that. But I found that game... Oh, you're on a Fanatec base? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That's it. On PC, the racing games are pretty cheap for base games. Why wouldn't you try them all and make your own mind up? I agree, Art. I agree. I agree. Ironically, my two favorite racing games are sandbox games. PMR and AMS2. AMS2 is much more of a sandbox game because it's got 0 ranked. I do hope that AMS2 does evolve to some level of rank play. It doesn't have to have the best ranked, but something. Have a good one, Lincoln. Thanks for stopping by. While this is going, I'm going to make myself a G Fuel. All right, so this is going to sound strange, right? Like maybe like I'm glazing, but honestly, I enjoyed, I'm not saying it's better, but I had more fun with it. I had more fun with PMR's AI. I had more fun with PMR's AI. Not saying it's better, because I do think that the AI works better in AMS2. But I enjoyed it more in PMR. It felt more like a real experience. Real sim experience. not real life experience. Honestly, from an SSD standpoint, space, no sim title is big. Like, let me see if I can see it in Steam. Maybe this will show me offhand. Yeah, it's not going to show me. Where do I see the install size of the games in Steam? I don't remember. Recent reviews, mostly positive. Very nice. I'm hoping that goes up quite a bit with the next update. They got to land the update, though. But... storage. All right, here we go. Right here. 50 gigabytes of space. Doom. 100 gigs. Destiny. 105. That's probably without DLC stuff, though. Let's see. Properties. What's it under? Oh, right in front of my face. Jesus Christ, I missed that part. Okay, so 44 gigs for LMU. What the fuck? Race room. Properties. 73. Destiny 2. Properties. 151. Forza 6. Properties. 155. Space Marine 2. Properties. 88. AMS 2. Biggest game in Sim. 142. That's a lot. That's admittedly a lot, but there's a lot of content. Anyway, back to the game. AMS2. You don't like AMS2, Trev, huh? That's a bummer. I love AMS2. What's I doing? Oh yeah, GT cars. Obviously, cars. Loading shaders. Oh, did you just... So you uninstall... You didn't uninstall AMS2 then? You just uninstalled LMU. Alright, so we're going to test the C3 versus the 911 in both games. We're going to test them on Road America.
Expect low grip out there for a while, mate.
What did I set the AI to? I think they're gonna be too fast for me. Yeah, let's go 80. See how that feels. I need practice. I suck with this car, so I'm probably lower than this on the AI scale. I'm just not good with this car. I gotta put time in on it. Here's what I can tell you, too bad. If you like PMR, you will likely not like LMU. I haven't met anybody who likes both yet. For example, Limberto, the alien Limberto. He likes PMR. He hates LMU, and he loves AMS2. When I introduced him to AMS2, he was like, how is this game not bigger? How have I never heard of it? Well, he spent most of his time on console. That's a big part of it, but... God damn, that Corvette's flying! And oof, saved it. That's the problem with the Porsche. He wants to kill you under braking. I don't care, it was worth it. Worth it. Get that Corvette out of here. Oh, I looked at chat. Well, it wouldn't be a stream of mine without looking at chat and crashing.
There's minor rear damage, mate. Minor rear damage.
iRacing's your favorite sim? There's no doubt that there's a lot of good in iRacing. Admittedly, I do have to retry it since they supposedly made it easier with the GT cars in terms of that ice racing shit. See, I would go ahead and blame the Thrustmaster. Here's the thing, when you get into PC, I do recommend the next thing you do is get into like a bougie-ish, you know, PC-specific style ecosystem with the hardware. Because on my RS50, it's good. I have no complaints about it. But it all kind of feels the same on my RS50, game to game to game. There's small differences, but it feels the same. On my Simagic base, I can really, like, pick apart the differences. There's just so much more range of detail. I don't even care about the AI. I'm just trying to drive the car around the track. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk shit about Thrustmaster because I've never used a T598, but I've used a lot of Thrustmaster peripheral products growing up. For lack of better words, it was all garbage. It was all junk. I'll never use a Thrustmaster product ever again. but I've never used them. So grain of salt on my opinion. But everything I have ever used from Thrustmaster has been garbage. I know the T598, the biggest thing I've seen is disconnect issues. I've never experienced a disconnect. That's a lie. My G923 disconnected a few times in Gran Turismo 7. Other than that, I've never had that experience. In my opinion, if like those are your only two options, Logitech or Thrustmaster, I would never even consider. I would never even consider Thrustmaster. For me, it would be, oh, so the only thing I can use is Logitech. Got it. I'm getting back into the groove of driving it. I'm still not driving this thing anywhere near a decent pace, but I'm just getting back in the groove of driving it. I'm being way too cautious. I should probably put the line on, but it is what it is. I do think the T598 is much more, because they say it's got, like if you were to compare it directly with the RS50, right? If you set it to 8 Newton meters, most of the experience is 8 Newton meters, right? It's there all the time. The T598 advertises as 5 Newton meters constant, 10 peak. But I honestly feel like average, the RS50 throws out more force feedback. Even though I've never used a T598, I'm just saying, with my experience with the RS50, if I set everything to max, I'm pretty much sitting at right there near clipping the whole time. Yeah, way more torque. That makes sense. I have the feeling that the T598 is much more on the spectrum of 4 to 5 Newton meters. Yeah, what Rob said. Honestly, either buy like the 12 Newton meter base or buy the Ultra, the 28. The reason why I say just buy the 28 is because, in my opinion, from a price standpoint, the Ultra kind of cannibalized the Pro. Like dollars per Newton meter, if that's your scale, the Ultra is way more efficient than the Pro. You regret your T598? Yeah. I'm sure to a degree they're not bad, but by comparison to the rest of the other things, man, most of the even in PMR, most of the complaints with force feedback I see, they're using a Thrustmaster wheelbase. I have a great experience with my RS50. So yeah, you can make the argument that it's, oh, I have a 28 Newton meter Simagic base and that's why my experience is good. And you would be right, but I also enjoy it on my RS50. So that's an 8 Newton meter base. And I don't think the RS50 by any means is like upper tier bougie level force feedback device. I consider it entry to just breaking into that mid-level of performance. But it's so good at it that you could say it's high-end, you know? I can tell you after having had the Pro 11 Newton meter base and the RS50, I would recommend the RS50 over the Pro. Not because it's got more power, it doesn't, because it's a better base. It's more efficient, way smaller footprint, and that is, trust me, when in sim racing, when you start adding and having more and more things and things are heavy, small becomes a really nice thing to have, you know? when that small thing is as efficient as a bigger thing, you know? All right, let me just do this real quick. We're gonna lower the AI difficulty to like dumb. Cube 35 Newton meter ultimate only applied, noob. Yeah, right. Go minimum. See what they're like at minimum. Here's the thing, though, Trev. I agree. True Force does work really well. Speaking to Simagic Evo, the Evo, I have never used the older Alpha wheelbases, but I've used the Evos. I've had multiple of the Evos. Everything has True Force. It's built in firmware-wise to the device. So, like, I don't need to wait for the game to enable True Force to get that kind of immersion. It's just there. I have it all the time. I have it in every single title, whether the game says it has something or not. Like the vibration, this right here. This scale right here, rumble strength, works just like True Force on a True Force equipped game. So I turn this up to 100, my curbs buzz, everything feels, I feel engine vibrations, I feel, when you guys see my camera vibrate and shake and look like it's distorting, that is the wheelbase, the vibration.
Okay, mate, we expect grip to be low.
A lot of people were influenced by it, yeah, I believe that. Thrustmaster, very much, to me, feels like a pyramid scheme. Kind of advertising. I wish AMS2 had the Capri. The Capri is so good. It's like, it's obviously the easiest car of the class to drive, but that isn't why it's fun. Because GT3s are easy to drive, and I don't think they're that fun. The Capri is just like, it's a hoonigan car. It works so well, but in a reckless manner. It's just such a fun car. They did such a good job with that Capri. I mean, they did a good job with all the cars, but the Capri, in my opinion, kind of outshines the rest of the DLC cars.
No, he didn't slam you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you, he rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Yeah, the AI is real slow at 20, huh?
You've been given a penalty. You've got to give the time back.
Nope.
Slow down, you've lost the racing line.
All right, let's test crash physics. Ah! You see? You see, boys? I'm praying. I'm praying. I am praying. That is fixed in the next update. Because look what just happened with the AI when I hit them at a different or a higher deficit of speed. I can't harp on this enough. It's so easy to just blame netcode for bad collisions. There's no netcode in between me and that goddamn AI car. It's all being produced with by my PC. Zero ping. Watch it one more time. Oh, what's the binding again to move it one frame at a time? I forget. I always forget. That's the dashboard of the Corvette, guys. Guys, that's the dashboard of the Corvette. And this is my dashboard. This is offline. Netcode is not the problem here. Like, I can't... It's just so easy to default to netcode. I mean, it's code. It's definitely a code problem, but it's a collision problem that's being exacerbated by netcode. I hope that's fixed in the next update. I really do. Because that, to me, is like, if you can do that, experience that with the AI, you know, it's going to be that much worse online. All right, let's do the exact same test quick with AMS2. They do seem pretty confident that they've made collisions a lot better. So, you know, in that regard, let's hope. Let's hope. Because I do, like I said, I am very much pro PMR. When I talk negatively about PMR, I'm not doing it to frustrate them or anything like that. I'm doing it to know that, like, look. I know we all pick and choose our problems with a game. For me, my biggest problem with PMR is collisions. And that should, like, I feel like that was like a grand slam example of how it can completely unimmerse you. Like the other collisions where we were at, we're relatively same rate of speed, you bump them and slam them off the track, or vice versa. Those collisions, I don't care too much about. I think that it could be a little less bumper car-y, but for the most part, at least I'm not phasing through cars. You know, there feels like there is a firm line in the sand. This is the contact point that will bounce the cars. Whereas when you phase through them, that AI car, by the way, I guarantee it wasn't even pushed off track. I phased through it and got totaled. So hopefully that is squared away for the next update. I really hope it is, man. Really hope it is. All right, let's compare. Let's compare. $85 Newton-meter Bosch e-bike. You win. There you go, Trev. It launches good, just like in PMR. Launches real good. Holy shit. Corvette's fast, too. Look how fast the Corvette is. I'm telling you guys, if you like PMR, you like AMS, too. They are different, but they're also very... There's a reason why I'm comparing them. Car is, so far, it feels a lot easier to drive in this, though. I'll say that. It's the C3 I'm most curious about. God damn. I gotta bind... Hold on. I gotta bind my, my look. Hold on. Edit assignments. I want to look left. Vehicle or camera. Different on that one. So let's go... Trev, yeah. AMS2, Project Cars, and PMR live in the same canonical universe. That's so true. It's so true. And I've never bought a sim setup from Thrustmaster. I never will. I bought their other peripheral shit, and it's all been garbage, so I'm good. But Oh, shit. So the Porsche is definitely easier to drive in AMS2, believe it or not. It doesn't have any of that on the brakes, like lift-off oversteer. So you can get on the brakes a whole lot harder, where in PMR you really have to be gentle with the brakes. So this is where I say, which do you prefer? Well, this is my honest answer. I prefer whichever one is more accurate to the real car. I don't know which one that is. But I do know that in Porsches, that phenomenon where they lose the rear end is quite common. But I will say, though, the one in this, a lot more confidence in the push. Right off the rip, I feel more confidence in pushing the car. But the thing, though, is that one thing I absolutely like that PMR does a lot better. Suspension travel. Like, I can see the cars moving around. Like, the actual cars, the AI cars, suspension bouncing around. But I can't feel it right now. In PMR, if I go to hit the brakes, the whole car nosedives. So in that aspect, from immersion, I like the PMR driving experience better. As far as the difficulty, whichever one is better, or is more realistic, is the one I like better. I just don't know which one's more realistic. The overall grip levels and driving style is very, very, very similar between the games. The biggest difference is I don't feel the weight transfer in this, which is a negative for AMS2. But I can also get on the brakes harder and not lose the rear end, which, from a driving enjoyment standpoint, is a positive. But again, which is more realistic? That's the way it should be, I don't know. But I very much like feeling body roll. I don't like this car should not feel like, in my opinion, like, see, that there was no signs of that. So right there, right? That's where PMR, in my opinion, is substantially better from a physics standpoint. Because I know why that just happened. But I couldn't feel it. If I was in PMR, the car would have nosedived, lift up the rear tire, which would have made the inside, or the outside tire, sorry, the outside rear tire have to maintain all the grip, and it can't, so it would slide. And you would oversteer and lose control. Right there, I got zero body movement whatsoever. I shouldn't say zero, but like 10% of what it would be in PMR. So the nose dipped a little bit, but it felt like it was on rails. That felt like a GT3 car going around that turn. But it lost control, similar to what it would lose control like in PMR, because I don't have the grip the game is telling me that I do have. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, PMR does a much better job at delivering information to me. Because like I said, in PMR, the whole car would have nosedived. I would have felt the body roll. I would have felt it shift to the side, to the outside. It would have lifted up the inside rear a little bit, or I shouldn't say lifted it up, but it would have gotten real light on that tire, putting all the load on the outside tire, and the outside tire wouldn't be able to hold it by itself, and it would spin and lose control. But in this, I didn't feel any of that. Let's see what the AI does. Just pushing me out of the way. See, it looks like it's on rails. AMS2 is the Madness engine. PMR is Giant's engine. But everybody keeps talking about the engine like it's the determining factor as to why things are the way they are. The guys programming the game, they're the ones that determine the way things are the way they are. You think they can't have body roll in the Madness engine? They absolutely could. All right, let's try. Let's do one more test before I. Oh yeah, we're cooked now. We're cooked now. Yeah, the car is totaled. All right, let's restart this quick. Now let's just test the collision quick. Yeah, that's my point, Fogbound. You see all of the AI cars, you see their body roll. But the player car, I can't feel any of that. I can't see the car moving. We'll jump back over to PMR after this and you'll see what I mean. I'm telling you, in my opinion, PMR has some of the best suspension movement I've ever experienced in a sim. If not the best. I personally think the driving experience of PMR is the best driving experience. It just, the game itself needs work from a game standpoint. All right, let's drive into these AI cars and see what happens. So I think we can all agree that was a one-sided comparison. The crash physics in AMS2 dwarf PMR. That felt like a real crash. From a video game standpoint, I'm saying, like, barrel rolled, everything got destroyed, major accident. PMR doing the same thing. I phase halfway through and take heavy damage. And that's the end of the accident. So, you see why I bitch and moan about collisions a lot in PMR? From an immersion standpoint, it is the most unimmersive thing about PMR. Telling you, man. I'm waiting for that one sim that does everything right. I shouldn't have Horizon Lock on. Let me double check. I forget where. That. I always forget where it is in this. System. Nope. Visual effects. Here we go. Why that's off, actually. Turn all this stuff on. Give me all of the immersion. The thing is, though, is I always like the car to move a little bit and the horizon to move less, because I do believe that, to me, is more of an authentic, real-life experience, because things that are closer to you, like if you move your head around and move your eyes around, things that are closer to you move more than things that are further away. So if you're in a car, driving a car around, and you move your head, the horizon will move a little bit, but not a lot. The dash and the wheel are going to move a shit ton because they're so much closer to you. Turn off high-speed shake. But I like that, I think. Lean into apex. See if that does anything. I really do think it's the car itself not giving me the body roll experience. I agree. I like a lot of, like, if I'm chasing immersion, Trev, and rate of speed. It's just not as much. It's just not as much. It's there, but it's, again... The C3 is going to be the real example because that thing is like a boat. The C3 is the definition of American muscle that sucked in turns. Use the bathroom quick. As far as Too Bad, if you want recommendations for like Simagic stuff, I actually recommend the P700s over the P1000s. I use the P1000s and I have P700s as well. They're so cheap, the P700s, by comparison, and the experience is the same. Now, the physical build quality of the P1000 I think is better. But the P700s are more modernized to the point where, like, I do believe that at some point they're going to be doing a revision on the P1000s. I could be wrong on that. But they're going to make them a lot more modernized to where they don't... The problem I have with the P1000s is there's just a non-stop amount of maintenance you have to do. Adjustments, squeaks, lube, things like that. It gets kind of frustrating. The P700s, just use them forever, and they just work. And they're a lot cheaper. Like, a lot. This thing's got some horsepower, boys. I don't feel the body roll, though, like in PMR. Look at him on the brakes hard. The nose barely moved. I agree with Jason on this one. There's just not a lot of suspension travel in AMS2. This car is also way easier than PMR to drive. Not necessarily a negative, because it's still fun, but... Excuse me! Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Oh my god, that's a similar feeling to PMR. No brakes. Like that, like came out. And now the car's totaled. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the damage model and the collisions is just... That's peak in AMS2. Let's try that one more time. A bit more effort. There was 0 brakes right there. I don't know if you guys saw how long that took me to stop, but I was on the brakes the whole time. Just pushing right through them. It's got very similar braking, PMR to AMS2, the C3. But it overall drives much easier in AMS2. Let me just check something in the audio quick. I want to see if I can lower the volume of their cars. I think I can. Opponent engine volume. Here we go. There we go. That's what I want. Because their engines are dwarfing my engine sound. I want to hear the engine. That's my goal here, is to get more engine sound out of the car. And quiet other things up. They were not. That is very true, Fogbound. They were not known for their handling. In fact, of all the generations of Corvette, they are considered the worst in that department. That being said, though, they are still one of the sexiest cars to ever roam the planet. Real quick. Think I'm talking out my ass when I say things? I know I've already shown this picture to some people. They will recognize it, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to show you again. There it is. And that's me. And yes, that is a mullet. That is a mullet. So, when I talk about random shit about cars, and you say I'm talking out my ass, this is what I have to say about you. Where is it? Right here. This is what I have to say. Right there. Rotary. I don't make that shit up either. I don't make up anything I say. I could be wrong about things, but I don't make anything up. Anyway, back to the game. Oh! 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 Mike, refresh the stream. You're behind. Mike Nichols. Excuse me. God, it's funny. I will say, credit where credit is due. Both games made this car, the straight line king of the class. Oh, come on, use those brakes. Somewhere in the pits right now, there's 2 Americans talking about a carburetor. Guarantee it. Talking about how fuel injection is never going to take off. Carburetors for life. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, we can finally drive a car sideways in this game. Just took an American. There's a weird fluttering sound I'm hearing, and I don't like it. Jamie 3M here. Verdicts yet? Positives and negatives for both. Some games do some things better. Collisions are where, in my opinion, PMR is completely missed up. I mean, they know it. I'm not saying anything they don't know. Collisions are awful in PMR. They're really good in this. Driving goes back and forth. I can't give you a PMR or AMS2 because they're my two favorite games. So my recommendation is get both. But they're very similar games. Very similar games. PMR is definitely doing some driving aspects better than AMS2. Let's see if I can drift this. Almost. Oh, never mind. Perfect parking spot. I need medical attention. All right, here we go. Like, I'll show you an example of where this game is objectively better. Well, than a lot of games, not just PMR. But, for the fuck of it. Oh, I killed him. I killed him. Anyway, all right. Let's try those cars in PMR again. Mainly the Corvette. Mainly the Corvette. Because it's fresh. What? Now Destiny wants an update. What is this? Oh, it's a small one. All right. PMR. Honestly, Sabby, I would get them both, man. I have all the Sims. I have all of them. My favorite two experiences are PMR and AMS2 because they're the most similar, and that style is just what I like. I like sandboxy games. I think PMR is going to develop at this current juncture. PMR is going to develop a lot faster and get a lot better, quicker than AMS2. AMS2 is going to be a very, very slow burn with updates. PMR is going to move the needle a lot faster. But I still very much like this. Got to use this livery. Got to use this livery. What's my take on PlayStation ending physical media? It's objectively a bad thing, but I also don't care because I primarily am a PC user and I haven't bought a game disc in decades. But it's still a bad thing. But it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Sony's just the first person to announce it, so they're going to get the most backlash. But it's going to end. You've been buying physical, like, nothing. The discs have been nothing for years. You're buying a license.
Yeah, remember, mate, the track is
a physical license. Now you're just forced to buy the digital license. Yeah, audio is way better. Audio is better interior on PMR. Look at the body roll on just the shifts alone. Look. That's what this would be like in real life. I'm telling you, this is where PMR shines. They have such a good suspension model. A C3 should not give you the sensation that that thing's on rails, because it's not.
No, he didn't slam you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you, he rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Looks fine, so no need to
Oh! Woo! Avoided. Oh, I'm in neutral, damn it. Oh my god.
the telemetry showing you a lot of downhills. Box this lap.
Oh. I think I like this car better in PMR all the way around. All the way around over AMS2. It handles too good in AMS2. It brakes like dog shit, but it handles way too good. I definitely like it better in PMR. Because I can't speak to the Porsche, but I can definitely speak to the C3. This is more authentic. This boaty, floaty, garbage. Whole lot of horsepower in a straight line, but yeah, this is a C3. I'm on nitrous for this race. AI's at minimum, by the way, so...
Car on your left.
It is the AI data centers. That's definitely the problem. Blame all the billionaires of the world. They are always the problem, and that will never change. And it just so happens Jensen Huang, who was one of the guys that people used to like, now everybody hates him. Because he converted over to lizard people. He adopted the lizard.
Nice work, that's the fastest lap. Keep sending it.
I will say, I want to practice with this car. This car is a lot of fun. It's hard, but it's a lot of fun. Out of my way.
No, he didn't slam you, he didn't bump you, he didn't nudge you, he rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
And hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. What for? Because you hit every other goddamn thing out there. I want you to be perfect.
Yahoo! I can't get going again. Oh.
Car on your right.
Oh, I know. He ain't there anymore, though. Let's try this with the H pattern. See if it shifts faster. You'll know by the nose. A little bit. Yes, it does. That's a nice little touch, by the way. I don't know if it's intentional or a mistake, but H patterns, if specifically an H pattern, not a sequential, because the paddles register as a sequential too. It's the same coding. The cars shift faster. They go through gears faster if you use an H pattern. So pay attention. This is the perfect car to use as an example. Pay attention to the front end. Every time I shift with the sequential, the front end goes down, up, down, up. When I use the H pattern, it stays up because I'm going into the next gear so much quicker. See? That was fourth. Now when I use the paddles, you'll see the nose dip. Something I've liked about this game since day one, it's been there. So watch when I use the paddle. You'll see the nose go down and come back up. Slow shift. See? Do right here. All paddle shift right here. Oh, what the hell was that? See? And you can hear it, too. You can audibly hear it shift a lot slower. Now let's go H pattern. The 1-2 is still slow, but watch the 3-4, or the 2-3 and the 3-4. Right here. Come on. Right here. Listen. See? It's a nice little bonus for people who are using the H pattern. Because using an H pattern is harder than using paddles. That's for damn sure. It's a nice little performance bonus. That's where it fails. That's where PMR gets PMRE.
Yeah, we sustained some minor suspension damage. Front left. Nothing too serious though, so keep on it.
Center, I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm going to go ahead and say no. The overall pit stop system and weather does not do that. Not compared to other sim titles, anyway. Not yet, anyway. But this is still my biggest complaint. Let's see if I can get him. Oh, I'm not going to get him. That's where it becomes very weird. Collisions. I can't complain enough about collisions, man. I know. I gotta shut up, but... Alright, let's try the Capri again, just because. Even though it's not in AMS2, I just love this car. Steam failed with the Steam Machine, by the way. That there was no way that was going to be... Like, I referenced this yesterday. Let me find it again. Like, it's easy to, like, look at, say, Xbox's price hike recently and be like, these greedy sons of bitches. The other option is they just don't sell Xbox. All right, so for reference, I paid $200 for this a year ago. And guess what? It's in everything. Your game consoles, your computers, your phones, you name it. This shit is in everything. And why is this skyrocketed in price? AI data centers. When Fogbound says blame AI data centers for all of it, that is quite literally the problem. Well, that's a lie. The billionaires in front of that are the problem. Yes, this is US dollar. I paid... Stop doing that. Subtract that 1. That's what I paid for this exact same thing that is in my computer right now. Subtract the 1. What do you get extra for this extra $1,000? Nothing. Nothing. It's the same thing. So Xbox, believe it or not, is actually being conservative with their price hikes.
Expect low grip out there for a while, mate. Track is green. Track is green.
Billionaires and AI data centers, they are the problem. They are the problem. They're ruining the world. Truly ruining the world. And they're proud of it. They think it's the greatest thing ever. I hope that actually goes through, though, John. It'll be the second time. But bottom line is, anybody can sue anybody. It's got to stick for it to actually mean something. People need to go to prison. People need to go to prison. No, well, there needs to be a good... It's all supply and demand. The price is high like that because the demand is up from the AI data centers. If the demand goes away completely, when the bubble bursts, if and when the bubble bursts, the prices will return to normal. They'll go right back to what they were. All supply and demand. But corpo greed is corpo greed. That's why I said people need to go to prison. That's like getting a slap on the wrist and a fine is not going to make anybody honest. Ruining people's lives, like billionaire lives, and sending them to prison, that will affect things in a positive way. But without prison, it don't mean shit. Just another fine. How do you fine a billionaire? You could fine a billionaire $100 million. That's like a $5 bill falling out of your wallet for the regular person. Big deal. Fun to ram the AI every once in a while. Trying to drive like an asshole right now. Yeah, John, and the worst part about it, too, is it's all data collection. It's all for stuff that you don't want. And, like, these billionaires are trying to convince you that you do want it. It's wild. Pisses me off because I love tech. I truly do. But this is the type of shit that makes people, like, want to go live in the woods in the middle of nowhere. All right, let's do this quick. Next test. Next test. This one I think is going to be a win for AMS2, but that's fine. What we got to do. Use the bathroom quick again. Goddamn G Fuel.
Remember, mate, it's going to be slippery into that first corner, so stay out of trouble.
Immersion mode activated. Maybe, Trev. Maybe. I really want to actively avoid custom lobbies until the next update. I just don't want the game's current problems that I know are potentially fixed to put me in a foul mood. Actually, real quick, I can't do a comparison with the Capri because the Capri is not in AMS2. So let's get back in the Stingray.
The track needs rubbering in, mate, so grip will be low for a while.
No, you need to get it on Steam, which I highly suggest getting everything on Steam. Oh boy, oh boy. That's a bog and a half. It's on sale on Steam. I don't know if it's on sale on Giants either, but I know it's on sale on Steam. Highly recommend getting it on Steam. But that's also me. I wouldn't even consider it on Giants or Epic. Oh my god. God damn it. Yeah, I definitely like driving this car better in PMR than on AMS2. Anything, the more suspension travel a car has, the worse AMS2 feels. That's why formulas feel fucking phenomenal in AMS2. No doubt suspension modeling is, in my opinion, PMR is the king of that. I don't think anything operates suspension-wise like PMR. I think it's where I like a lot of its driving. All right, here we go. Horsepower. What? 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 Are they not on wets? Were they not on wets? They all must have pitted. I think they all pitted except the one guy behind me, the second place guy. Oh, shit, that's fucking me up. Something's going on in my game. My game's like freaking out right now. It's stuttering like crazy. We definitely got like a glitch here. John, have you seen this before? I think it was stuttering. I think the AI... I think it was stuttering because something was going on with the AI. And they use a lot of CPU. Let me stop for a second. Yeah, there's only one... I gotta drive around the pit. I want to see what's going on in the pits.
There's a yellow flag.
I don't know what happened, but something definitely happened that was freaking the AI out because it was glitching the game. The game was stuttering like crazy. I've never seen that one before. That's a good one. Add to the list. That was interesting, boys. I don't know what that was. Try the same test now in AMS2 and see what we think overall is better. I already know this test is going to be a win for AMS2. I don't know about the driving experience, but the overall visual experience and the way the game works is going to be better. You're going to see a lot of AMS2 polish right here. Yeah, I don't know what that was, Rip. That was weird. They all after the first lap pitted. Like they weren't. It's like it's almost like they started on hard tires, and not wets, and it freaked them out because there's no doubt something was going on with the game, because my game was stuttering like crazy. So you probably saw some like CPU utilization spikes happening, and that's all controlled by the AI. Listen to that thunder. Yeah, this is... I cannot get any grip. And like just like that, my car's destroyed. Full hard on the brakes right now. I am pushing the brakes as hard as I can. Zero lockup. Just fade. All brake fade. Watch. They're cold brakes, but like, come on, man. Full brakes. I can't stop. Zero stopping. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about driving in the rain in AMS2. It looks really good, but this car especially is useless. Oof, maybe that wasn't as clear as I thought. All right, let's try something else quick. That was underwhelmingly unfun. Switch it up quick. This is where, in my opinion, AMS2 is king, at least in the formulas. was not paying attention. Fiddle fucking with my buttons. Last restart. Here's where I have an issue with AMS2 in the rain. Your car cannot put power down to the point to even match the AI at their slowest. This is minimum AI. I can't get around the last place guy. Look how good that looks, though. Look how good that looks. Go helmet cam. Severe damage. Up, 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 yup, okay. Oh, there goes my wheel. Something about AMS2 with its rain. The AI doesn't get slow enough in the rain, but you cannot accelerate. You cannot put power down of any kind. That was I had max TC on. Just can't go anywhere. But the AI can. They're slow as shit in the turns, but they come out of turns and they just accelerate. You can't accelerate, so they drive away from you. Turn that off for now. I'm not going to lie. Like, so here's the thing. This is where the weather varies game to game. PMR is a lot more fun to race in the rain. Visually, AMS2 looks a lot better in the rain. Let's try this quick. Let's do a little experiment. 2 weather slots. 5 laps on Imola. Let's go from rain, heavy rain, to dry. But rain is not ice, exactly. That felt like ice. And that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if the rain's going to feel like ice, okay. But make the AI drive like they're on the same road you are. That AI was as slow as they could go. I could destroy that AI on dry pavement. It wouldn't even be close. It would be so easy to beat them. But in the rain, you cannot put power down and drive your car anywhere near what the AI can do at its slowest. The AI is either... There's 2 ways to fix it. Either slow the AI down and that just be the experience in the rain in the game, or make you have a bit more grip in the rain. I personally think you should have more grip because the rain shouldn't be like that, like you said, Fogbound, like ice. You should still be able to accelerate on a wet tire. All right, so it's starting us on intermediates. This is rain transitioning to dry, the sun. Look, they just motor away. This is where the AI gets dumb slow. They don't know how to navigate turns. But they can accelerate in the straights, no problem. And you can't. Now, this is also Imola, and Imola has the latest weather updates for dry lines and things like that. Did you see how that AI was just about to fly around me in the straight right there? That's what I'm referring to. They're ballistically fast in a straight line because they have better grip. Helmet cam is pretty cool. Especially in a Formula car. Because this is the actual, more traditional, real-life experience. A muffled, helmety experience. So what you're going to see now is over the course of these 5 laps, the weather is going to transition from heavy rain to sunlight. A nice sunny day. And it's going to seem aggressive because it's only 5 laps. And that's what sync to race is like. That's something I really hope PMR builds into their system later on. Because I really like this about AMS2. No, why are you still sliding? Oh. You notice how the skies are starting to get blue? The clouds are fading away. So you should start to see a dry line appear now. Probably not in this lap, but the next lap I think you'll start seeing one. There it is. There it is. This is where AMS2 is just like undisputed fun and king. Getting in these Formula cars, man. They've really got this shit locked in. This is what brings a smile to my face in AMS2. I also really like this view. I don't know why. It's a cool view. Offset bonnet. Or broadcast cam, I should say. Look how much faster, though, I'm getting now that the road is drying up. And the AI is not getting faster. Because they were already too fast in the rain for what the player is. But then on dry pavement... you do that. Rely on that TC right there. All right, let me ask you this, guys. Does anybody want to do some AMS2 league practice tonight? Trev, I don't know if you're around. Anybody around? Because this is making me want to play some AMS2 formula stuff. In the dry line, it's fade. It's vague, I mean, but it's there. How are my tires holding up? But look how slow the AI is now. It's not, the problem is that they're just too fast in the rain for the player. Because they're minimum AI, so they should be slow right now. But the problem is, there's an imbalance in the rain. Either the player's car needs to have more grip, or the AI just needs to be slower. In my opinion, it's the player's car that's the problem. Like, homie. I think you need TC, that's why, Trev. You've become reliant on TC. We can make the league only the R25 or the Formula V8. I'm okay with a one for the, instead of doing multi-class, just doing a one make. See the dry line? The weather system in this game is really, really good. As far as grip in the rain goes, if you're playing against other people, well, it no longer is the argument that I just had about the one of them needs to change, either the AI or the player, because everybody's a player and everybody has the same lack of grip, you know? All right. All right. Would anybody be up for league practice tonight? Because I am done for today. I am done for today. But is anybody interested in some league practice tonight? If not, that's fine. I'll just stream tomorrow. Because that's my plan. Well, I forgot. We got Doom the Dark Ages. I don't know, man, if I should stream Doom or not. I know a lot of people won't give a shit. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Need some human feedback right now. So here's your poll, by the way, 61 votes. Do you prefer the AI to potentially hit you or avoid you at all costs? 67% prefer aggressive AI that could hit you. 33% prefer cautious AI that avoids you. So that's that poll. I'll put it in the Discord. See if I get people. If not, we'll see what I do. But I don't know if I'm going to stream Doom or if I'm just going to stick to the sim shit. I don't know. I really want to play Doom. I just don't know when I'm going to have time to play it. Unless it's on... Well, let's do this. Let's do this quick. Let's kill this music. Let's start. Let's bump into Doom. Not going to play it. Okay. Sure. We're going to launch a new game intro. And if it doesn't intrigue people, it's not worth streaming. Because in my opinion, the intro to Doom the Dark Ages, like, you know, makes you want to play the Oof. Game is not... Launching this game right now is not making my Streamlabs happy. Stuttering like crazy. So I haven't played this game in a year since it first came out. So a lot's changed. Oh, so I can play Revelations right now. Interesting. Alright. Anyway, doesn't really matter because I'm not playing this. I'm just showing you. Watch the intro to this. If this doesn't intrigue you, turn the volume up. That's all I'm saying.
The barrier is still holding. but our scans show that 3 portals were open
Just
from
wait.
inside the village.
The demons couldn't get past the barrier, so their followers are letting them in. Thera.
The transport. How much time?
Get me the new bishop. Valen's armored division is still an hour away.
We could try and launch the Atlas.
There's no time. Bishop Creed. We need him.
Commander. Thera. This temple must remain guarded.
The village of Kalim is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed, including your Sentinel energy reserves.
Launch the Slayer.
Turn your volume up.
Total purification targeted for the
No,
village
Trev.
of Khalid.
No. Just turn your music up.
Launching the Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Release.
I mean,
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
anyway, you get the idea. So the first DLC for this game just dropped today. That's what I want to play. I mean, I could, so let's see, what do I have? 26 hours in it. So it took me essentially 26 hours to beat the game the first way through. And then the DLC is supposedly like 10 hours. You know, it's a question of, is it worth streaming? It's a shit ton of fun. I'm going to play it regardless. You know, question of, again, if it's worth streaming or not. I'll talk to you guys about tonight's stream, either AMS2 or something like that, in chat. This is, man, if I do Doom, it's probably going to be during the daytime stream. But we'll see. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Stay tuned for the Discord. Too bad, Trev, if you guys want to chat in there about possibly tonight or whatever. I'll be on comms there, figuring that out. Until then, folks, that's it for today. I got to set up my new soundbar here and do some other things and have some lunch. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some kind of comparison out of the AMS2 and PMR stuff today. Like I said, they have their strong points and their weak points each. But for the most part, they're my favorite two sims, and I look forward to playing more of them, and I look forward to seeing what PMR's new update brings. I am going to be doing that again. Another comparison of AMS2 and PMR once the next PMR update drops. But until then, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you potentially this evening, if not tomorrow at 11 a.m. Till then, peace.